William goes back to work. Prince returns to royal duty as he issues medals and shows off his sign language skills, while courtiers thrash out future of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Prince William was back at work at Buckingham Palace today, just 24 hours after the Queen agreed Prince Harry could quit as a frontline royal and move to Canada with his family. The Duke of Cambridge put on a brave face as he stepped in for his 93-year-old grandmother at an investiture ceremony this afternoon after taking his 3 children to school and nursery this morning. Despite the turmoil in his family and the rift with his younger brother, William grinned as he knighted Theresa May's Brexit negotiator Ollie Robbins and former England cricket captain Andrew Strauss before sharing a joke as he gave gongs to rapper Mia, Scottish composer Anna Meredith and BBC golf expert Ken Brown. And in a heartwarming moment, William beamed as he signed congratulations as he gave an MBE to sign language expert Alex Dugwood, who has signed Emmerdale and Coronation Street for deaf ITV viewers for decades. The third in line to the throne was back to work as Meghan Markle denied she was barred from dialing into the landmark Sandringham summit from Canada as the Sussex team continues to negotiate an abdication deal on money, titles and establishing their international commercial brand. Palace officials working for the Queen, Prince Charles and William were said to have feared yesterday's talks could have been recorded or intercepted if the Duchess took part from Vancouver, where she is with Archie. But today the couple's Kensington Palace spokesman insisted Meghan was not shut out and just left it to her husband, saying, "In the end, the Sussexes decided that it wasn't necessary for the Duchess to join." Prince Charles' wife Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, and Princess Anne, were also carrying out royal duties with a visit to the University of Aberdeen this afternoon, where Anne received an honorary degree from her sister-in-law. After the family meeting at Sandringham yesterday, Her Majesty released a historic and emotionally charged statement regretting the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's bombshell decision. The Big Four Windsors are not expected to meet again in person but will be consulted by phone as their private secretaries thrash out a deal over their titles, tax bills, royal duties, funding and living arrangements in Canada and the UK, as well as who will pay to protect them. Sir Edward Young for the Queen, Clive Alderton for Charles, Simon Case for William and Fiona Msilwam for Harry have been ordered by Her Majesty to get a deal done within days. This morning Prince William surfaced for the first time since the Queen agreed the couple could quit as senior royals and plan a new life together in North America with their 8-month-old son. The Duke of Cambridge was on the school run in London this morning after spending yesterday afternoon in face-to-face talks with his grandmother, father and Harry amid claims of a deep rift between the two siblings and their spouses after a series of rows dating back a year. The Queen has said that hammering out a viable blueprint for Harry and Meghan's financially independent future was proving complex and indicated more details need to be ironed out, including their use of the Sussex title to build their business brand in North America. There will be strict instructions on branding, for example, said one senior figure last night, adding, "No one wants to see the Sussex name on a tub of margarine," an nod to when Princess Diana's Memorial Fund logo appeared on millions of Flora boxes a year after her death. Prince Charles is said to be focused on money because Harry relies on his father's annual £2.3 million Duchy of Cornwall payment to meet family bills. The Prince of Wales has already lavished a small fortune on his younger son, from his wedding to the fitting out Frogmore Cottage, the Windsor house he is now largely going to vacate when he uproots to North America. A friend said, "He doesn't have unlimited resources. Harry needs to know that." William and Harry's relationship is feared to be at an all-time low following a series of furious rows including a bust-up before a polo event in July last year, while Kate and Meghan are also said to have had words after the Duchess of Sussex reportedly beat Kensington Palace staff before Christmas 2018. But the Duke of Sussex is said to believe that his brother and his wife Kate never gave Meghan a chance in the 20 months since they're married, with his wife said to have told him over Christmas in Vancouver, "It's not working for me," hastening their decision to quit as senior royals. According to friends, Harry arrived ahead of schedule to square things with his grandmother, who came into the crunch talks deeply disappointed with him and Meghan for wanting to step back from their official duties. William skipped lunch and arrived just minutes before the talks began. In last night's statement, the Queen's sincere regret was made clear, saying she would have preferred them to remain full-time working members. But after her one-to-one with Harry, followed by 2 hours of calm discussions with him, Charles and William, Her Majesty agreed to a transition period where the Duke and Duchess would step away from royal engagements as they spend more time in Canada. After the meeting concluded, Princes Charles, William and Harry left in 3 separate cars. The Queen has ordered staff to find a solution within days to the remaining sticking points, including the couple's future funding, which is expected to impose rigid rules on their commercial activities. This was a deliberate nod to what happened in the aftermath of Diana's death when her memorial fund began endorsing cash-raising schemes that appalled the public. Yesterday's unprecedented royal party culminated with a 5 p.m. statement from the palace, in which the Queen gave Harry and Meghan the green light to press ahead with plans to become financially independent. The monarch said, "Today my family had very constructive discussions on the future of my grandson and his family. My family and I are entirely supportive of Harry and Meghan's desire to create a new life as a young family. Although we would have preferred them to remain full-time working members of the royal family, we respect and understand their wish to live a more independent life as a family while remaining a valued part of my family." Harry and Meghan have made clear that they do not want to be reliant on public funds in their new lives. It has therefore been agreed that there will be a period of transition in which the Sussexes will spend time in Canada and the UK. "These are complex matters for my family to resolve, and there is some more work to be done, but I have asked for final decisions to be reached in the coming days." The Queen, who is desperate to chart a way out of the crisis raging through the family ranks, has ordered courtiers to double down efforts to develop's blueprint for the Sussexes' future, to be completed within days. In the statement, the head of state broke with protocol to refer to the couple by their first names rather than the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Some experts have decoded this to mean Harry and Meghan could be stripped of their titles, while others have played it down as the grandmother, 93, simply striking a soft tone. Royal commentator Victoria Arbiter said the move was likely to be telling, tweeting, "I do think it was very striking, particularly in a statement from the Queen. Are they having to give up their titles? This would be an indication they are." Reacting to the statement, Queen Elizabeth biographer and royal historian Robert Lacey said the language was an immensely personal intervention uncharacteristic of typical palace communiques. He told BBC Radio 4, "It is remarkably hands-on. I mean, it may have been processed through officials, but this is the Queen, speaking to her people and speaking about her family, and I think coming right through it is the concern she feels." Speaking to The Times, royal author Ingrid Seward said, "The first round has gone to the Sussexes. It feels that the royal family are bending over backwards to try and help." Yesterday's unprecedented meeting represented the first time that Harry, 35, had met with his closest relative since early November, with the prince and his wife having taken a 6-week break in Canada over the Christmas period. Although they arrived back only last week, Meghan, 38, has already returned to the country. Aides have now been set to work to try to come up with a workable solution to the crisis, preferably by Friday. This includes enabling the couple to find a way to become financially independent and not rely on taxpayer funds in the future, as well as acceding to their wish to live partly in Canada for the foreseeable future. Other issues left on the table for further discussion are the cost and provision of the couple's security, particularly while they are spending large swathes of time out of the country. There is also the matter of Frogmore Cottage, the couple's Windsor home lent to them by the Queen, and refurbished with £2.4 million of public money. The couple have insisted that they want to keep the property as a base in the UK. It is clear that despite the Queen's emphasis on the meeting being constructive and supportive, the schism between Harry and his family runs deep. The statement failed to hide the sadness of the elderly monarch, who has made no secret of the hurt her grandson has caused her in wanting to break away from the institution and choosing to tell the world of his intentions last Wednesday without informing her first. Harry is expected to leave the country to rejoin his family by the end of the week, after conducting what will likely be an awkward engagement at Buckingham Palace on Thursday in front of the media. Yesterday's Sandringham summit saw Harry arrive at 11:20 am, with his grandmother and father already waiting for him. At his side was his newly appointed private secretary, Fiona Msowam. His frail grandfather, the Duke of Edinburgh, was earlier seen driving out of the estate, and it is not known if the pair, once so close, even met. Intriguingly, his brother William, whose relationship with his brother has become so toxic that many insiders describe it as irreparable, did not pull through the gates of the Queen's Norfolk estate until 1:45 p.m., just 15 minutes before the start of the summit. It is understood that Meghan, who flew back to Canada just 24 hours after the couple's bombshell statement last week announcing they were to stand down as senior royals, was planning to dial in on speakerphone. She is staying at the couple's borrowed mansion on Vancouver Island with their 8-month-old son Archie. Some in royal circles suggested last night that Harry and Meghan had left the Queen little option but to capitulate to most of their demands to prevent a royal war. The statements talk of a transition period for the couple between the UK and Canada was said by one aide to be simply a chance for the family to gain breathing space while this mess of Harry and Meghan's own making is sorted out. The acknowledgement that they will hand over their public funding in order to become financially independent appears to give them the license to strike commercial deals as part of their Sussex royal brand, which some experts predict could be worth at least £400 million. But senior royals are said to be aghast at this idea of monetizing the monarchy and want an assurance from Harry and US-born Meghan that they will treat their positions with respect. The Queen's decision to refer in her statement to the couple by their first names, an unusually intimate reference, particularly for the monarch, has also sparked speculation that the couple are set to lose their titles. Aides say that this is unlikely as the family is acutely aware of the public backlash when Harry's mother Diana, Princess of Wales, was stripped of her own HRH. Asked if they could remember a time that the Queen has ever issued such an official personal statement about a member of her family, aides both past and present were at a loss to remember one. The Queen has referred with warmth and affection to her husband, Philip, and the Prince of Wales in speeches and other tributes, and addressed other issues such as her famous Annus Horribilis in the Christmas speech. Other statements about family affairs have been issued by Buckingham Palace on her behalf, but always by a spokesman. Royal insiders have told the Mail it is clear that she fears for the future of the institution. Although she and Charles are agreed on the importance of a slimmed-down monarchy in the future, Harry and his family were always considered an important part of the lineup.